Oh dear. Hmm. This isn't good, is it? A loss against Everton, a draw against Brentford, City in a couple of days. We could be going 3 games without a win. That is not title winning form, that's for sure. It's a really tricky one to break down, this, because I feel like the second half was so much better than the first half, but we did so many things wrong in this game. We could have easily been 3-0 down going in at the break. I think Brentford were honestly very deserving of potentially more than 1 point. But in terms of having to break this down, where were the issues? What positives did we get? I'll try my best. I'm just obviously very, very disappointed. Although, right, okay. What went wrong? For me, I felt like we needed to switch things up today. After the game against Everton, you could see maybe just switching up might have given us something a bit more, I don't know, a bit more of an edge. Just changing up the system slightly, because you could see straight away Brentford knew exactly how to deal with us. It was very much get 10 men behind the ball, hit them on the break, hit Arsenal on the break. And it was working. It really was. They should have scored. Well, they did score, and it was ruled for, I think it was a foul. It was ruled out for a foul, which probably wasn't a foul. It was more of a slip. I mean, just in general, their chances were very good in the first half, and we weren't really creating anything. We just looked really lethargic again. Actually, I want to use the word nervous. I think for the first time this season, you're seeing a group of players kind of getting a bit of a reality check. Like, yeah, we're top of the league. Yes, we're doing very well. We've got 50 points in the first half of the season. All of a sudden, though, a loss against Everton, who had that bounce with their new manager, and then a struggling first half performance against Brentford. It's kind of a reality check, isn't it? It's not easy. It is not easy to win a Premier League. And it's games like this that you just can't lose. But the second half was, I think, a lot better. We got to see more of Nketiah, because I thought he had a relatively quiet game otherwise. Saka was able to influence more down the right side. And of course, Trossard coming on and getting his first goal, that is absolutely a positive. But what we're seeing here, this formation absolutely nullified our midfield. And, I mean, effectively it was 9 centre-backs and 1 striker. That's what it felt like. And obviously a goalkeeper. But, yeah, I would have liked to have seen more subs. This is something that is bothering me a little bit with Arteta, I guess. Not changing enough. I mean, the Trossard sub worked. We got our goal through that. But, where was maybe a Tierney sub? That could have been great. Tomiyasu, I feel like Ben White and Zinchenko, it's worked a lot this season, but it wasn't today. It clearly needed an injection of pace. I feel like Tierney going down that left side might have actually been brilliant for us. But obviously this is another example where maybe having Jesus fit would have really helped us today, because I thought Nketiah was quite poor. Smith Rowe, this fixture last year, Smith Rowe was scoring and we were going on to winning this game comfortably, and it just hasn't worked out today. This says a lot, that the chances that Brentford had were very good chances, big chances, and that's why they've got such a high expected goals. Whereas, we've had a lot of the possession, 69%, really, really dominated the game in terms of having the ball, but it doesn't mean anything. It literally means nothing. It's a really poor result. We can look at the table here. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, you can see that we're 6 points clear, level on games played with City, but that 6 points can now become 3 if City win. Is it Wednesday we're playing them? Yeah. I mean, it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? It really is. So we are now 3 games in all competitions now without a win. It just means that game against City is quite literally the biggest game for the last few years. In my opinion, it's the biggest game of the season for sure. If we come away with a win against City, I think, we can probably go back to how we were feeling a couple of weeks back, or, at least a week ago. But if we draw, if we lose, it's not good. I mean, a draw isn't the worst, but if we lose to City, genuinely, the momentum shift is going to be huge, and it's going to test our players mentally it's going to be such a huge amount of pressure on them to have, a team that have won it 4 times in the last 5 seasons or whatever it is, just bearing down on you. Oof. I'm excited, but I'm also extremely nervous. It's a real test. We shouldn't be here. Let's all just remember that Arsenal should not be here right now. There's, for sure, a time and a place where Arsenal were going to achieve, I think, title charges. It wasn't meant to be this season. It was meant to be, I think, next season onwards. And we're here earlier, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm also hating it. We can also take a look at some of the other results, today with Chelsea drawing again, 22 games played, 31 points. I mean, that is shocking, really bad. Of course, Tottenham have lost to Leicester, who will be climbing up. Wolves got a huge win despite being down to 10 men. I think Southampton will be needing a new manager. I think Jones is going to be gone, isn't he? Nathan Jones out. Or who cares about the rest? Let's have a look at our fixtures. So, as usual, it's not looking easy. Man City up next with Villa away, Leicester away. I mean, Leicester are bouncing right now. Villa with Emery. Oh, I'm telling you guys, this is why I've been very... I don't know really what the word is. I don't want to say I've been sitting on the fence because I haven't. I've found it difficult to buy into the whole we're going to win the league because this was such an easy thing that could happen. This is what happens in football. All it takes is a couple of results. We still have a huge advantage. Of course, we can beat City, but imagine we draw against City or lose against City, draw against Villa, go to Leicester and struggle. I mean, we could actually be second place in the next few weeks. It could happen. I don't want it to, of course, and I don't think it will happen, but it's going to be an interesting few games, that's for sure. Now, let's get your comments in. I haven't been doing comments for a while because I've always recorded these as the game's ending, but I waited today, mainly because I was watching a totally legal stream, which was very slow and annoying. But obviously, I always ask for your thoughts. Positives here from the chairman plays. Positives, Trossard's first goal. And that's it seems. Negatives, lack of sharpness, variety and offence. That's true. It did feel like we were just doing the same thing over and over again. It was the definition of insane, just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's why I think we needed to change it up, bring in a Tierney or whatever. Feels like our team expects us to win now that we have strengthened the team in January. We were actually not. Midfield still very slim and no bench options. We are definitely stronger. I disagree with you there. We are stronger from the window, but... yeah, this is where you're correct. Maybe not so much lack of sharpness, but it was the variety and offence. It was too easy to basically guess what we were doing and predict how we were going to play, and every single attack just felt like it was the same. Nathan Blake says, City is now a must-win, and I think the last couple of games have shown about Nketiah. He's a good player, great finisher, but he doesn't have what it takes to be a first-team striker for a top team in the league. I'm going to have to disagree again because we have actually seen... maybe not today, maybe not so much against Everton, but since Jesus has been injured, there is not a better striker, stats-wise, pre this game, with non-penalty stats. His non-penalty expected goals is very, very high. He can do it, but I would argue also in your favour that he's had a lot of chances fall for him. He's playing for a team that are flying at the top of the league. Obviously, if it was a different scenario, it'd be very difficult. I think he's good enough to play for a top team, but it's difficult when you see a performance like that where you need more from your striker. You definitely do. Martinelli looks off the pace lately. Trossard should start. Yeah, I think Trossard should have started. I think Tomiyasu should have started today. Maybe even Tierney. I'm not saying because City was coming up we want to rest players, but you could see against Everton, it didn't work. And no doubt, Thomas Frank, Brentford, they would have done their homework. They would have watched that Everton performance and gone, right, yeah, we know what to do. And they would have expected us to play like we did, and we did. we literally played into their plan. I think changing it up would have been really good. Bakayo Clear says Arteta shouldn't have started Martinelli. There you go. Had to change things up between White and Tomiyasu as well. Things aren't working as good as they did a few months ago. I mean, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. Like, it's okay. It's 2 games, but yeah, that can become 3, 4. Ellis says, if we play like that on Wednesday, we are getting slapped. Please, no. And then Ruben says, we were lucky not to lose today. It's true, we could have lost so much possession, but we lack someone who can just shoot. The amount of times the ball was on the edge of the box, I'm just thinking, shoot! Just let one fly, and then we pass it, and they've got 10 men behind the ball. Always ends up with a clearance. We have to beat City on Wednesday. I mean, it's so obvious what we need to do now, guys. It's a really tough time to drop points after the Everton game. What we needed today was a bounce back performance where we win, we say we're still here, we're fighting. That was a blip. City, we're coming for you. And instead, we're finishing the game today with, we've now dropped points twice in a row. Technically 3 games in a row now. Of course, we lost to City in the Cup. We're going into that game now very obviously desperate for a win. We could have been going into that game with a draw's fine. You know, we could afford not to win today, but now we have to. It's going to be a really interesting game. I cannot wait to watch it. I might even stream it. We'll see. But thank you for watching this video as always, guys. Arsenal failed to win again today, but it's not all over. We mustn't give up.